Okay, so I had recorded the whole episode, me talking about it and all of that, and then I realized my mic wasn't on, and I wasn't gonna upload the camera audio because it is just so horrible. But let's talk about Chucky season 2, episode 4. By the way, if you want to join our giveaway, make sure you're subscribed, commenting down below. You want to enter the giveaway, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. You have until October 29th to enter. Then October 31st, we announce the winner. But let's talk about this latest episode, which was a Bound reunion. Now, Bound is a movie that Jennifer Tilly starred in 1996, and that was a movie where we pretty much saw her co-stars make it into this episode of Chucky. So we pretty much have Tiffany, who is in Jennifer Tilly's body, as we know, after the events of pretty much everything that has happened in the previous Chucky movies, TV shows, all that. And so we have her in this body, and she's been in this house for a year now. So when her friends come, co-stars, all of that, they're just like, well, what is going on? And the reason they come is because Glenda have decided to give themselves a surprise party, and they pretty much want to be able to have a party of sorts. But the reason to have the party as well is to free Nika, which is somebody they actually find, and they actually devise a plan to get her out and all of this. And we have Glenn, who wants to help Nika, and then we have Glenda, who is sort of being persuaded by Chucky, who is inside of Nika, as we know, and they are having like a back and forth in their mind and all of this. And we see that during a scene when Glenda accidentally like cuts herself, we see some blood trickle, and this sort of makes Chucky come into Nika's mind and take over it. And so what we see happen here is Glenda is talking to their father, and Chucky's kind of like trying to persuade them to kill Tiffany and sort of become one on one with them. And it goes back and forth, and we see this whole moral dilemma happen. Now, the reason that everything goes like insane is because we have a butler here who was trying to keep Nika safe in the room away from everybody who gets killed, and the big mystery becomes who killed them. And this is something that Tiffany uses to pretty much say to the rest of the party when they find the body is, this is murder mystery party, this is not a real murder here, this man is alive. He's just pretending. We have to figure out who killed them. And everybody is eating it up. And they are trying to figure out who killed the butler, of course, in the game, as they think. Not a game. This is real life right here. This butler is dead. Somebody killed him. We don't know either who does it, but we'll find out at the end. So we see that then Glenda are trying to get Nika out of here. Eventually, Glenn is able to take Nika out of the room and pretty much go down and get out of here. They have a ride ready and all of this. We don't know who the ride is just yet, but we will soon, and it is crazy. So when this is all happening, they open the elevator and they see the dead body of one of Jennifer's co-stars from Bond. Sorry. Right there, bloodied everything. It's Ralphie from The Sopranos, and they even mentioned The Sopranos in here, which I thought was hilarious. But all bloodied up. We don't know who killed that person either. But this sort of makes Nika snap, and then we got Chucky invading her body, and then we have Glenn being knocked down by Glenda, and Glenda is going to take Nika to go kill Tiffany now with some robotic arms and a handgun. Where did this handgun come from? We get that answer in the end as well. So we see that they are now confronting Tiffany, and Tiffany knows that this is Chucky and Nika's body. And just as Chucky's about to shoot them, no bullets, and the rest of the party's eating this up because they think this is like a play, a show, whatever, and they're just excited to be witnessing this. And so they're all excited for it. We have Tiffany's actual sister, of course, I'm talking about Jennifer Tilly, her actual sister here, the Real Housewife, the other co-star, and it's just insanity on insanity. And then eventually we see that Jennifer Tilly, who is possessed by Tiffany, slaps Nika, and she's back to reality, Nika now, and she's able to escape. And Glenda is going after her, and she tells Glenn to stay with their mother and protect her. She's like crazy and all of this, but that's still their mother. They have to figure out how to help her and all of that. So they eventually say, you go and I'll stay. And so in the end, we see Glenda and Nika escape into a minivan that Kyle is driving. How did Kyle and Glenn and Glenda meet up? I think that's the big question we have at the end of this. Like, how did this alliance form of sorts? One bigger question is, how did Kyle survive all of that from the previous season? I think we're going to get our answer not next episode, but probably at the end of this next episode and the beginning of the next episode. It looks like they're going to alternate of sorts the episodes for us, where we get the whole story with Glenn, Glenda, Tiffany, Kyle now, and also Nika, and also the story with Jake and his friends. I think there's a lot of characters introduced here, so I'm curious to see how Don Mancini's going to balance all of this out. But in the end of the episode, we have Chucky, who actually started off the episode narrating it and having like a talk show of sorts, now sort of putting all those loose ends and tying them up with a special guest, Liv Morgan, the actual WWE star. Like I said, this had a lot of layers, a lot of meta, a lot of fourth wall breaking, and it definitely had you on your toes. By the end of it, he eventually does kill Liv Morgan, and he says all his F words that he has a chance to say on the show because he didn't get a chance throughout the whole show, as he says. So, very great episode, in my opinion. I really enjoyed how meta it was, the fourth wall breaking, all of that. But I also do enjoy how it kept you on your toes about what was going on, even all the way up until the end with that reveal of Kyle. Now we know that Kyle is alive. Of course, we don't know what Andy's fate is just yet, but I wouldn't count him out if Kyle's still alive. We still need to see Bald Chucky. Of course, as I said, Bald Chucky was such an important character in my opinion because it was insane seeing him in the trailer and then seeing him in the first episode, so we have to get him back. But at the end of the episode, Chucky explains that the butler actually was killed by Glenda, who slipped a little bit of some poison of sorts into the champagne bottle he drank out of. And then Ralphie, of course, was killed by the other co-star of Jennifer Tilly, who was jealous of him because they thought something was going on with them and Jennifer. So that's who actually killed Ralphie right there. So it's kind of interesting because it sort of made me think that all of this was Chucky and Nika or Glenn and Glenda. But at the end of the day, so it's kind of interesting because I thought that this was all the work of Nika in some way or shape and Chucky. But of course, it was Chucky manipulating Glenda at first. And then I don't know what's going to happen now if Glenda's actually helping Nika because it's Nika or because there's something going on with Chucky as well. I'm also curious to see what Kyle's relationship is going to be with Glenn and Glenda and how this actually came to be because they pretty much knew from the beginning they were going to do this and they were going to save Nika. And I'm just curious to see what is the big reason behind all of this. It seems like Glenn and Glenda aren't really sort of vibing with their dad as well. It depends what has happened, what Tiffany has told him about him and all of that. So I'm curious to see in the next episodes how that's explained. But overall, I really enjoyed this one. A lot of Seed of Chucky references, a lot of that fourth wall breaking and meta layers that we saw in Seed of Chucky if you watched that movie. So very, very good. Very much so. Kudos to Don Mancini and everybody involved with this one because it was definitely one of my favorite episodes of all the seasons. And I'm excited to see how we continue from here. We have strong Chucky coming back in the next episode and it just looks insane. So I'm excited. But anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure you're subscribed. Like I said, we are on the road to 50,000 subscribers and we are running a giveaway. All you have to do is be subscribed and comment down below that you want to enter the giveaway. Hit the notification bell to know when that video gets announced for the winner, which will be live on October 31st, so you don't want to miss that. But as always, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.